All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We stay hot. Let's go. 1-0 last night. We cashed our teaser. We had the Nuggets -1 along with the Celtics plus 11.5. That cashed. But we got ourselves Tuesday here, March 7th. 8 games on the NBA slate. Like we always do, we're going to jump into each and every game. I'll give you my lean. We'll talk about the game. But my final plays, what I'm actually going to be rolling with, will be in the pinned comment. And I update that throughout the day. So make sure to check out the pinned comment on this video, guys. Yeah, we only had one play last night. It was the teaser, but it did cash. We've been kind of conservative with our picks, 1, 2, 3 picks on the night, but we're cashing it. We're cashing it left and right. We're very, very profitable as of right now. February on, really all-star break on. We've been kind of on fire. So, you know what? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for that. You guys are still absolutely killing the like button. Like, that like button hurts on those recent videos that we've had. 500 plus likes on a bunch of these. Let's see again. I'm going to set the goal low again. We're going to go 200 likes in today's video. Can you guys do it? I don't know. For the last week and a half, you've crushed that goal. Let's see if we can do it, guys. Again, hit that subscribe button if you are new. We're almost at 19,000 subscribers. And after 19,000, we got 20,000. And we're going to do a damn good giveaway at 20K, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into today's video here. We got the Magic taking on the Bucks. Magic 6.5-point dogs at home. Total at 233.5 right now. These two teams played back on March 1st. Milwaukee as 8-point favorites in that game. They were home, worth noting. They won 139-117 in their last 10 games. They're playing all right. 6-2-2 against spread in their last 10 games, but on the road, Milwaukee has been on fire. 4-0-1 in their last 5 on the road, whereas in their last 5, Orlando's struggling at home, 1-4. Now, I would think that this spread would be a little bit higher here, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm a little weary of this. Only injuries on the injury report here. No one's out for the Bucks. That matters all that much. Giannis is probable. Drew Holiday is questionable. I think I just burped and talked at the same time. But anyways, Giannis is probable. Something weird about the fact that we're only looking at a Bucks team that is 6.5-point favorites. I don't know, call me crazy, but I feel like they should be, larger favorites than that. So unless there's something else going on here, I am going to lean Bucks -6.5 points. Total at 233.5 again. I'm going to look at the under ever so slightly. But again, I don't know, maybe I'm the crazy one in the room or in the car, as we're doing a car video today. But something about that spread looks a little fishy to me, given that Giannis is going to play. At least he's probable right now. All right, Detroit hosting the Wizards here. Pistons 7-point dogs at home. Total at 227 in this one. They only played in October here. That was their only meeting of the season. Washington won that one 122-99. In their last 10 here, Washington 5-4-1 against the spread. Detroit 5-5 against spread at just overall in their last 10 at home. They're 3-1 against the spread. Washington not really trending in the best of directions here. In the last 6 games, 2-4 against spread. Kyle Kuzma and Monte Morris both questionable here. And then Detroit. Yikes. Good thing my reading level is at my age here, because Bojan Bogdanovic, questionable. Rudy McGruger, questionable. Hamdou Diallo, questionable. Isaiah Stewart, questionable. Killian Hayes, questionable. Jalen Duren, questionable. Cade Cunningham, out for season. They have a injury report as long as a newspaper here. But in terms of that spread, I do think that this Detroit team obviously is struggling, but we saw something last night against Portland. They only lost by 6 points. They were 4.5-point dogs heading into it, so they didn't fully cover that game. But I do think that they can keep it at least somewhat close with Washington. Now, I don't think this becomes a final play. I'm just trying to give you guys a lean here. I'm going to lean Detroit plus the 7 points. If any of those guys get ruled playing, especially Bogdanovic, possibly Stewart and Duren, those are probably the names that I'm looking for there. If those guys are a go, I do like this +7 here. Kyle Kuzma and Monte Morris, again, also worth noting there on Washington side of things. In terms of the total, 227. I don't love this, but I do like the over. I think this could be a non-defensive game. Moving on, we got the Knicks. They're 10-point favorites over the Hornets. See, not to bring it back or to confuse you guys, but Knicks 10-point favorites over the Hornets. Now, the Knicks are playing some damn good basketball, right? Since the All-Star break, absolutely crazy. But they're 10-point favorites over the Hornets, but the Bucks are 6.5-point favorites over the Magic. Something's just fishy to me. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but Knicks 10-point favorites here at home, taking on the Hornets, total at 228 right now. These two teams played in early December and October. In December, that game finished at 121-102. 2 in favor of the Knicks. And then in October, the Knicks won 134 to 131, a very close game there. On the season here, the Knicks at home 16-16-2 against the spread, which the only reason I'm bringing that up because on the road, the Knicks are 22-10 against the spread. They have to be one of, if not the best away against a spread team. I don't have the rankings in front of me, but that is a crazy record there. But in their last 10 games, Knicks 9-1 against spread, 5-0 in their last 5 at home here. And whereas I just don't trust the Charlotte team, I am going to lean Knicks. I think it's a little bit too high. If I do have the Knicks playing, I am probably going to throw it in a teaser. Quickly, to tell you guys what a teaser is, I get the questions a lot, and I try and get back to the questions, but we've been getting a bunch of comments as of late. A teaser is pretty much a parlay. You have to put 2 or more teams together, but you technically buy points on the teaser in replace of odds. So obviously, if you parlayed 2 teams with the spread with each other, your odds are going to be like, plus 200, crazy winnings, right? With a teaser, you get like 5 points. So in this case, we tease the Knicks down to -5 instead of -10, and whatever team else we have, if we had the Bucks, right? It would be -1.5 instead of -6.5, and then the odds would be somewhere in the range of 120, 115, that type of thing. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a parlay with bot points that kind of eats the odds a little bit. But nonetheless, we are leaning Knicks, but I'm probably only going to make that a final play if it is a teaser. If I'm being completely honest, then I like the over in this game. Again, they played back in October, 134 to 131. And then in a game that was a little bit slower paced, even in December, right? The 121 to 102 game. If Charlotte can score a few more points, we're looking at it pretty close to the over there too. So I'm going to lean Knicks in the over. Moving on, Minnesota taking on the 76ers here. Timberwolves 1-point favorites at home. Total sitting at 229. It makes you look at Philly's injury report. PJ Tucker's questionable. Tobias Harris is questionable. Karl-Anthony Towns still out, obviously, for Minnesota. It's a little interesting. I know that, some of these games, just like Milwaukee and probably this Philly one too, the books are valuing, I guess, these back-to-back situations, which is totally understandable. But I think at some point you do have to look at, which team is truly better. And even though, Joel Embiid isn't on the injury report, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like late scratched or something like that, because Philly being +1 against this Timberwolves team is a little bit crazy to me. So assuming based on this injury report, it's it's pretty early in the morning, up to date as of right now. I'm gonna go with the Sixers here, coming off 2 wins to Milwaukee and to Indiana. They covered I don't think they covered last night. I forget what the spread was in that game, but they did win that game against Indiana. Milwaukee, they were underdogs. They won that game. They're playing decent basketball. If Embiid is a go, right, we're gonna lean that way. In terms of the total here, 229. I'm kind of on the fence here, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I think I'm going to go under, but I don't totally love it. You can probably, feel the Tibbin-ness in my take there, in my lean. So I'm going to lean towards the under. I don't know if I totally love it. Maybe some further research throughout the day will allow it to become a pin comment final play, but as of right now, I don't think so. Guys, before we get to the rest of the slate, we are halfway through. I do want to talk to you guys about becoming a baller. A baller is the member on the channel, guys. $2.99 a month. It is first and foremost, the best way, or one of the best ways, to support me as I create this content, as we're getting up super early recording in our car in a damn parking garage. It's kind of a blinded support there. And 2, we're really giving back to all the ballers. I know a lot of the ballers are pleased as of right now. We release a model for spread, total, and player points, rebounds, and assists every single weekday to ballers. We even try and get it out on weekends as well, but we're giving that to you guys so you can incorporate that in your research. Again, not every model is 100% correct, but every model takes 100% of the bullshit out of the research, right? So you can incorporate that in your research. And then we also have ballers only videos. Right now, I think we have a 7-part series on building your own player prop model within Google Sheets. You don't need any custom systems or anything like that. I kind of walk you guys through in a relaxed fashion about how to make a model. You can, apply that to other sports and whatnot, but we have plenty more coming out. But yeah, guys, if you do want to become a baller, there's a link in the description as well as a join button next to the subscribe button, guys. $2.99 a month. You can buy 2 Starbucks coffees, or that's 2 of those is 1 Starbucks coffee is what I'm trying to say. But again, it comes down to the support. If you're only getting it for the model and stuff like that, maybe reconsider, because I do want you guys to know that, at the end of the day, that is just to support the channel and kind of support what we're doing here. So consider becoming a baller today, guys. If not, make sure you like the video. If you're not going to become a baller, just make sure you like the video. Let's jump into this next game. We got the Rockets 6-point dogs taking on the Nets here. Total at 2 130 right now. These two teams last played, I think, back last year here, and Brooklyn won 118 to 105. We don't put much weight into that last meeting, obviously, being as it was last year. In their last 10 games, Brooklyn 5-5 against the spread. Houston 4-6 against the spread. But Brooklyn is playing decent in the last 20 games. 13-7 against the spread in the last 20 games. Now, obviously, a lot has been changed around for Brooklyn, but it is worth noting that they have been playing decent, especially as of late too. They were 10-point dogs against my Boston Celtics, and they won by 10 points a couple nights back. Then they were 8-point favorites against Charlotte, and they covered. 102-86 was that final score there. I do think that this Brooklyn team may be figuring it out. I'm going to lean Nets here minus the 6 points. In terms of a total, I don't hate the under in this one. I think that this could be another sort of like 115 to 105 type ball game. The Nets just haven't been scoring enough points for me to back and over. Now the Rockets, yes, they have, and their defense also has been letting up 130 on any given night. But I think it's going to be a Nets defined paced game, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take the under in this one. All right, moving on, we got the Thunder, 4.5-point dogs at home as they take on the Golden State Warriors. Total way up there at 242. These two teams have last played, I think it was early February. That's a little smudged in the Google Notes here. But Golden State won 141 to 114. Golden State also won in January as well. So they won the last two meetings here. In their last 10, the OKC 5-4-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Golden State 6-4 against the spread in their last 10, but 0-3 in their last 3 on the road. Steph Curry not on the injury report, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander not on the injury report for the Thunder here. Thunder coming off of 2 wins and 2 covers against Utah. One in which they're a 1.5-point favorite. They won that game by 27 points, and they're 6.5-point favorites against Utah, and they won that game by 10 points. Thunder seem to be playing decent basketball here. I am going to lean them. Plus 4.5 seems like a little bit, just a little bit too much to give the rumbling cover in Thunder. Golden State coming off of a loss outright as 5-point favorites, an 8-point loss to the Lakers a couple nights back. I think, Steph clearly just needs, no, I shouldn't say clearly, that's giving too much credit here. Probably just needs a little bit more time to get acclimated, and then the Warriors probably become like a little bit more of a wagon. But as of right now, I'm leaning towards the Thunder here, plus the points, and I'm also going to lean towards the under 242. Dallas taking on the Jazz. Dallas 7.5-point favorites, and I'll tell you guys before we even get into this game, Dallas, even though, they against Phoenix there, they end up taking that loss there. I do think Dallas started to show something in that game where it's like they could score at will if they need to, even against who they play a couple nights before that. Another good team, right? It was Philly. So, and they looked good scoring the ball, right? So I think this Dallas team may be clicking. That is worth noting. Now, 7.5 points is the spread. That's a super high number. Total sitting at 232 right now. These two teams played in early February. Dallas won 124 to 111. In their last 10, though, they're 4-6 against the spread, and at home, they're 2-4 against the spread. So that is unfortunate. I do think they're figuring something out, but I think 7.5 points is a little bit too much to give this Utah team. This Utah team has been stinking. Do not get me wrong. They haven't covered in 3 straight games. They played against San Antonio, OKC, and then OKC. So it's a little weary, I guess, but I think that's just a little bit too many points. Plus 7.5 points is lean. In terms of the total, I also like the over. I think this Dallas team is a score-at-will team right now, even though they were one of the slower-paced teams at the beginning of the year. I'm going to lean the over. All right, Lakers taking on the Grizz. Lakers 2-point favorites at home here. Total 226. Obviously, we have some, things going on with Memphis here. Dylan Brooks is probable. He served a suspension. Brandon Achilles now out for season. Ja Morant out indefinitely. Possible suspension incoming. LeBron is out indefinitely over on the Lakers side of things. D'Angelo Russell upgraded to questionable, and Anthony Davis is probable here. I'm going to lean Lakers. I think Grizzlies just have too much crap going on. We took that, the Clippers the other night, right? That was one of our leans, and it kind of came through. I think there's just too much going on. I have to be proved to that the Memphis Grizzlies can, 1, win without Ja Morant, and 2, that, they're not bothered by all this stuff going on. So I'm going to lean towards the Lakers here, minus the 2 points. They look decent against Golden State, winning that game 113 to 101. In terms of the total, 226, it seems like something that should easily be able to go over, but I'm actually going to go under in this game. Guys, that is all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. I'm loving the support as of late. I cannot thank you guys enough. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out.